So hello everyone, welcome to the third lecture of advanced React concept. In previous lecture we learned about the React and some basic hooks which we used, and in this lecture we will learn about Redux toolkit, and some also we have discussed about useState and useEffect. So we will also learn about that, and we'll go on with the next level as centralized state, predicted update, and we'll mostly learn about the state management with Redux, or what is Redux and how it's been used. So we'll go with the introduction. The first Redux, what does Redux means? Whenever we use a component and we have a display, we have a increment like we used in the previous lecture, like increment of 1 plus 2 1 2 2 3 4 5 6, but that's increment in the one single page, one single component. But we also want changes to be occurred in the other components too, like which we have in other different navbar or different pages, like we have different pages like in our any website, like, so we want changes in that side also. So there comes Redux. So we have the Redux help us to make changes in the single component and plus to the other component also, where we have used that reducer. So there are three architecture where we use Redux: action, reducer, and store. Action helps to keep an initial value to it and put the current value to it, like with the changes which we add. And reducer use the function which we have the current state and action as input, and return a new state. New state means new value to the component. And store, and the store, where comes the Redux have been stored, the initial value are stored, and all like state management or all that. So that same action, reducer, store. What does the action means? And reducer and store: action is the JavaScript object, and that's a reducer is a function, and store is also simple source of application which stores the states, holds and current state. And also we'll have the other function that we'll be learning, like we have in asynchronous function where we'll fetch the data from the API call in this lecture. So this was how which we learned in the previous lecture about increment, decrement. This is the component here, and this is the other home page and home page. But the thing is, like, component is increment here, but we can't see any increment in this side, this home component and this. If I change increment here and same thing I just copy paste in the home, I won't see any changes there. So for that we have to use the state as increment and decrement for the other component too. So for that we'll add the React Redux. So for that we go to the code. So for that we have to install some packages. So we'll just have npm I, which is the short form install itself. We'll have Redux, React Redux, and we'll have Redux toolkit, Redux JS toolkit. So before it gets installed, I will have here show you the toolkit. How the installation are done. React.js toolkit. We have to write setup quick start. Use dispatch and use selector. I will show you one by one. You go to here. I think it's installed. Now get in the code, and in the source we'll have a folder named as store, and inside the store we'll have file as counter slice JS, you can keep any name you want, but for the reference I have just took that name. So we'll import first create slice. Create slice is like combining the reducer logic, the logic for all actions for a specific feature. Like it combines all the logic of the reducer. So we'll import create slice. Yes, Redux toolkit, and after that we'll have initial value, keep it as initial state value 0, value 0, and format document. And after that we have const counter slice as create slice. We'll have an set, we'll keep the name as counter, the reducer name, and we'll have initial state as the initial value, and have reducer, users as increment. We'll have the increment function, increment done. Then we'll have state of the value. We'll have state dot value will have +1, so we'll have it +1. And for the decrement we'll have state. These are the two functions for increment and decrement, which I said earlier. State dot value -1, format document, and after that we'll export const increment and decrement as counter slice dot action, and we'll have export default as counter slice dot reducer. Actually, let it make it like capital S so that we don't get this. Counter slice dot action document, I think copy that. No, I will keep as capital letters. Initial state, and the reducers have been done. Name the initial state, and after that we'll keep on. So in the store itself we'll have another file as index.js, index small. We'll have import, we'll have configure store, config store, and after that we'll have import counter reducer. So from dot counter slice, which we have exported right now, const store as configure store, and inside that we'll have reducer. We have counter here and counter reducer. Format a document, and after that we'll export default as store, and after that, so now we'll go to app.js to set up the the reducer. We'll import provider from the Redux, and also we'll have store, import store from store. So after that, this is our router, right? So inside here, actually I think I have to set up in the index.js. Mistakenly I will just Ctrl X and go to index.js and import it here, the store. And after that, here I will have provider. Inside the provider will have store and have store as that, and Ctrl X and wrap it inside the app. So that's how it works. So after that we'll go to the component where your component is, and here we'll import useSelector and useDispatch. And after that we'll also have increment function, which we have already created, the action increment and decrement as action. So actually we don't want any state here, so we'll remove that useState. So we'll have const count it as useSelector. So we have useSelector here, useSelector to get the initial value as state, and we'll pass that state dot counter dot value, which we have in counter slice, counter name of that, and the state and value, which was the initial value as 0. So we kept that in the format document. And after that, on the on click, we'll remove this function and have as, we'll just remove the set count. We'll remove that and have it as dispatch. First we have to import the dispatch here. We have const dispatch as useDispatch. So for that we'll have your dispatch as increment function. Pass the increment function, and here also same, but here we'll pass the decrement function. Ctrl C and Ctrl V, and here we'll have decrement. And what we have done here, this one. So we are getting some error like cannot get property of undefined hidden value. We'll check on it. So useSelector is getting that. Make the count. So we go to the counter slice, producers, users. So I have just this here. Oh, sorry that here I have to pass counter slice actually. Counter slice reducer. So now we are seeing it's working. So you can see the increment and decrement, but you would be saying that it's same as that itself. So what's different? So I will show you. We'll go to home component or else, and go to the code component.js. We'll just import this one, go to the home and have it here, and also we'll import the useSelector. Ctrl C and Ctrl V, and also we'll have the button increment and decrement, same as there. We'll have it here inside the home tag from a document. We don't have actually the increment, decrement. Import that too. Ctrl C and Ctrl V. Dispatch is not defined. Yes, that's it. That's what page for that. So we are in the home page. It is reloaded. The value changed to 0. We'll increment 1, and we'll go to the component also. So here you can see that the value also changes here also. If we decrement where, I will get to -6 and go to home page. So here also we can see the value changes. So that's how React Redux works. So now we'll have a asynchronous function. In that we will fetch the data from an API call. We'll have that API call which is like here. This is an API JSON placeholder type core.com. Here we have the data in the JSON format, user ID, title, body and all. Will display this, and I also add some CSS into it. So we'll go to the code and go to the about section, which is already empty. So I'll use this component. Before that we'll have useCallback const post, where we'll set the data and keep the data from the API call. Set post, we'll have post. Actually you can keep it any name you want. We'll have usestate, and it's empty list actually, so we'll have it list const, and we will also require loading. So before it takes some time to load, so we'll have loading too. Set loading. For every API call we have to add some loading, because we'll get an error while having the data. So use state as true and const error if we got any error. Set error as use state null, and after that we'll have use effect. We'll have fetch. In the fetch we'll add the URL. We'll copy this and paste it here. So as we fetch the data, and we have then function, and we get the response, right? The response, and keep it as res itself. If we have the response press OK, then we'll have, but if the response is not okay, then we'll have throw new error as network response was not okay. Error, we just had throw error. So new error and was here. So after that we'll have response return. We'll have return statement, return response dot JSON in JSON format, and after that then data at post data and set loading equals to false. After that we'll have dot catch. If there is an error, then first set error and set loading equal to false. And after that we'll have dependency as empty, so then it will run once from our document, and after that you can just check it by console.log post, check it in the data or not. Go to about section, inspect it. So yes, we are getting the data as 100 of data, and I will add some CSS to it. Just give me a second. Yes, I can. So I've written some CSS because I don't have to explain everything, because you would have already learned about the CSS before. So, and also have to write the condition like if loading is there, if loading is true, then return like a div tag as loading, and if error is there, then return. We have div tag here again. We'll have here error as error dot message, and after that we'll show the data here. We'll have div tag here. We have div tag. Just copy it in bracket. What happened? And div tag here will have class style as container style, and inside that we'll have a h1 tag, and here we'll have style. We'll keep it as text align as center, and color we'll keep it as hashtag 333, and after that we'll have posts, right? Posts, and after h1 tag we'll have ul tag under list, and we'll have style as here also. We'll keep as list style, type will be none, and padding as 0, and ul will map it actually for post dot map post, and we'll pass it here, and li, and here we'll key as post dot id, and here, and also the style also will add the style as post style, which we have kept there, and li, the li will have 50 tag, and here we'll keep it as title style, and inside here we'll have post dot title really, and the paragraph which is the body style as body style, post dot body, and if you see that here, you can see that the title and the body, it is randomly written in French, I think so, which you can't understand. So here we can see the 100 of data which you are fetching. So if I just reload it, we get a single bit of time of loading, because the data is getting loaded, just a millisecond to get loaded. You can change the styling according to your requirement and all. For me, I have put this as the data pieces. So that's it for this lecture. Thank you for watching.